Hello children, I welcome you all to this session. This session we are going to discuss one important concept, that is concept of current liability. Now you know that liabilities is classified into two categories, that is non current liabilities, current liabilities. So it is classified as non-current and current liabilities. But when there is a question of what is the criteria for classifying current liability as well as non-current liabilities, we may not know that. Say for example, if you have trade payables, that is payable within 18 months. Now 18 months means it is 1 year and 6 months. It is 1.5 years. 1 year consists of 12 months plus 6 months is a period of 18 months. Now whether it is classified as current liability or a non-current liability, we may not know. There is a one more example. You can understand this if I am able to elaborate. Say for example, you need to redeem suppose you want to redeem the debentures in 5 equal annual installment. Okay, suppose the debentures value is rupees 5 lakhs. Now you need to redeem the debenture in 5 equal installments, which means, say for example, 5 equal annual example. First year, this is the year that you are issuing. We are taking it as 0. This is first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year. Okay, we have 5 years. This 5 lakhs to be repaid to debenture holders in 5 equal installments. Now this particular first year you will have to pay 1 lakh. Second year you have to pay 1 lakh. Similarly, third year, fourth year and fifth year you need to pay 1 lakh rupees. Ultimately you would have paid over a period of 5 years 5 lakh rupees. Now when we are standing at the first year, this 1 lakh rupees, whether it has to be treated as non-current liability or whether it has to be treated as current liability. Yes, it has to be treated as current liability. But the remaining 4 lakhs, that is this part, this 4 lakhs, how you will treat it? It has to be, when you are standing at this point, this year, it has to be treated as non-current liability. This has to be treated as non-current liability. So you have one element which is treated as, it is, if you see debentures, it is ultimately, it is the long-term borrowings, but redemption of debentures will trigger current liability as well as non-current liability. Yes, so we need to understand the concept of current liability. So now I am going to tell you what are the various key points that you need to remember to tell something as a current liability. So current liability is defined, what? Current liability is defined in Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 as follows. Now, how it is being defined? Current liability is that liability which is expected to be settled. Expected to be settled in normal operating cycle. Now, normal operating cycle, if it is expected to be settled within that operating cycle, then the Companies Act says you treat it as current liability. Number 2, due to be settled. Due means to be given, to be paid. Due to be settled within 12 months. 12 months of what? After the balance sheet date. After the balance sheet date. Suppose if the balance sheet date is 31/3/2019, 12 months after the balance sheet date, which means April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 1st of April. So we will take it as 31/3/2020, within 12 months after the date of balance sheet. So the date of balance sheet is 31/3/2019. 12 months from the date of balance sheet is 31/3/2020. Within this time period, if there is any liability that needs to be paid, that needs to be settled, then it will be called as current liability. I hope that you are able to get it. The third point, that is held primarily for the purpose of being traded. Now this is important. For what purpose you are keeping? It is primarily for trading purpose. If it is for trading purpose, then it should be treated as current liability. Then the last point is there is no unconditional right to defer settlement for at least 12 months after the balance sheet date. Now what is this? There is no unconditional right to defer payment, which means, what do you mean by defer? Defer means cancel payment. Okay, defer means cancel payment. There is no right given to you to defer payment, to cancel payment for at least 12 months after the date of balance sheet. The same concept. After the date of balance sheet, within that 12 months, you don't have any right to cancel the payment. You have to pay it. then it will be called as now current liability. If a liability meets any of the above three, if a liability meets any of the above four conditions, they are not telling all, any of the above four, any of the above four conditions, it is shown as current liability. I hope that you are able to get this point. So it will be shown as current liability. First one was it should be in the normal operating cycle. Second one, due to be settled within 12 months. Third thing, it should be for trading. And fourth one, there is no unconditional right to defer settlement. Unconditional right to defer settlement. Then in that case, if the liability meets any of these four criteria, then it will be called as current liability. Okay. Now we are going to discuss each element in detail, little detail. Okay, so that it will be useful for us to solve this type of problems. Normal operating cycle. Say for example, if a company's normal operating cycle, you know what is the operating cycle, right? So for recap, the raw material needs to be processed as finished goods. Raw materials needs to be processed as finished goods. Finished goods should be held as inventory. Okay, inventory is stock. If inventory is sold out as credit sales, then you have trade receivables. Trade receivables in turn is realized in as cash. Okay, and the cash is, again you are using the cash to purchase the raw material. I hope that you are able to understand this. So raw material converted to finished goods. Finished goods is taken as inventory in your warehouse, where from the warehouse you are able to sell it. From the factory thing you are able to sell it, you convert it to be trade receivables. Trade receivables in cash, you are able to realize it in the form of cash, and cash you are using again in the business to purchase the raw material. For this, suppose for example, if the time period taken to convert is 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, so our operating cycle will be raw material 2 months plus finished goods 2 months, inventory 2 months, then finally trade receivables 2 months. So our will be 8 months. Okay, so what they are trying to say, expected to be settled in normal operating cycle. Say for example, we need to settle it. This is an example for sales. We need to settle our suppliers. Okay, so we are talking about current liabilities. We have purchased raw material from our suppliers. We have purchased raw material from our suppliers. This raw material will be converted as finished goods. This finished goods will be stored as inventory. This inventory will be transferred as trade receivables. This trade receivables will be transferred as cash. Now from this cash we will be able to honor the payment of supplier. Okay, so from this we are having a time gap to settle the supplier. This time gap is called as the trade payables. Okay, so most of the cases the supplier will give us credit period. Okay, the supplier will give us the credit period. Within that credit period we are supposed to make the payment. Now this is a sales kind of a thing, this is a purchase, credit purchase kind of a thing. This is credit sales kind of a thing, this is a credit purchase kind of a thing. So try to understand within the normal operating cycle. Say for example this 8 months is the normal operating cycle, then we will consider 8 months only, not 12 months. Okay, for identifying the operating cycle. The second criteria that we are going to see is due to be settled. Due to be settled, DTLED, within 12 months from the balance sheet date. Now, suppose our operating cycle is 8 months. Eight months to the balance sheet date. This is the balance sheet date. Usually balance sheet date will be 31/3/2000 and something. Okay, so 31/3/2020 or whatever. So if suppose our liability is to be settled in the 10th month, then how will you treat it? Suppose you need to pay rupees 10,000 to supplier being trade payable. Now what does the definition say? You need to consider something as current liability if it is within the operating cycle. If it is to be settled in the normal operating cycle or due to be settled within 12 months from the date of the balance sheet. So the second criteria here is more powerful than the previous one. Even though my operating cycle is 8 months, my settlement date is when? It is 10 months. It is the 10th month I need to settle. The month of October I need to settle, not in the month of August. Okay, I need to settle in the month of October, or you just have to take it this way. We are having, can you see this? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the financial year. Okay, from 1st April to 31st March. This is the financial year. We have to settle. Our operating cycle is 8 months. Okay, it comes to November. Okay, our operating cycle is 8 months, but we need to settle in the month of January. Our 12 months is closed by the month of March. So what does the definition say? Even though your operating cycle is 8 months, if you are supposed to settle within 12 months, then you have to take it as current liability. Do you understand? Even though it is beyond your operating cycle. Many students will have this feeling. It is operating cycle we need to take. We have been tuned like it is operating cycle or it is 12 months. Okay, so many people will make this mistake. Okay, within 8 months it is operating cycle, so beyond 8 months it is 10 months, so obviously they will treat it as non-current liability, which is ultimately wrong. What you are supposed to take, it is to be treated as current liability, because due to be settled within 12 months from the balance sheet date is very important. Okay, the second criteria, so the second criteria is more powerful. Third one is trading. Obviously anything that you relate with trading only is related with current. If you are not doing for trading, then it is not related with current. Okay, one example, you have issued 9% debentures, okay, of rupees 10 each. 9% debentures of rupees 10 each. So the number comes to 1 lakh debentures into 10. So you have 10 lakh rupees in your hand. Okay, you have issued it. Okay, but the company has decided to trade with, trade means it want to buy, it want to sell, it want to buy again, it want to sell again. With that trading, it wants to make profit. So it has decided 10,000 debentures, I am talking about number. Okay, 10,000 debentures it's want to trade. 90,000 debentures it will take it as non-current liabilities. Ma'am, can the company sell and trade in its own shares and own debentures? Yes, it can do it. It can definitely do it. Okay, so 90,000 debentures, it is non-current liability. With this 10,000, it is ultimately for trading purpose, so it will be treated as current liabilities. It may be little weird because we are always tuned that debentures, once you see debentures, it should be treated as long term liabilities, long term borrowings, right, which comes under non current liabilities. But we have to be very careful. If it is utilized for trading purpose, then it will be treated as current liabilities. Now the next thing, there is no unconditional right to defer settlement for at least 12 months from the date of balance sheet. Okay, so suppose you have taken a loan from a bank, you need to pay rupees 10 lakhs on 30 June 2019. Say for example, you have taken a loan, you need to pay, you need to repay. Taken a loan, you need to repay on 30th June 2019. Okay, now from the balance sheet date, that is, let us assume from April 2019 to 31 March 2020. So you have to pay this loan April, May, June. Within 3 months, you need to repay this loan. Okay, and you have no right to defer, that is cancel payment. In that case, You have no right. That means the bank has not given any right to give any excuses saying that you want to postpone the payment. So you need to pay this. Then this particular payment will be treated as what? Current liabilities. Suppose for example, this payment, it's not 30th June, it is, let's say it is 31st March 2020. 31st March 2020 you have to pay. You cannot say that sir, you are having corona and we will not be able to make payment, we have lost so much. You cannot say all those things. You have to pay.